Oh, Warframe. What a wonderful game. Let's log in. This ain't Warframe? What is this? Okay, so, if you're familiar with, current events, you know Overwatch is out right now, and I've been playing the hell out of that. And, in turn, Warframe has also introduced their update 13 point something something. You know what? I completely... They use so many decimal points now, I completely forget. Now, Warframe is a fantastic game. In fact, I did a video about why I think Warframe is an excellent free-to-play game. And if you haven't tried it out yet, definitely check out my video explaining why I think that Warframe is such a good free-to-play, and it's an example that many games should set for their games. Their MMOs, their MMORPGs free-to-play. Overwatch, this game is not free-to-play, it is actually a buy-to-play. You can get it through Blizzard on Battle.net, but if you get the game through certain retailers such as GameStop, Best Buy, in my country we have Game.uk, we also have Amazon.uk, they have a few bonuses if you're in Australia. I think it's EB Games would be the one for that. But anyway, they come with a few bonuses, and yeah, the game's not free to play. But it is a very fun game. It's not really like Warframe too much, aside the whole roles thing. It's more like Team Fortress 2 on Steam, lacking the customization. But all in all, it is a fantastic game. I'm having a fun time with it. I could probably see myself in the future not playing it as much as I do right now. Really hoping they add some more game modes, maybe a deathmatch, competitive plays in about 3 months, so. I'm not really into the competitive scene, but I know there are a lot of people that are interested in that, so there's that. But I was playing this game, and it made me realise a few things. Now, I'll get onto those. I'm just gonna go back to Warframe here. So, Warframe, obviously because Overwatch came out this week, they decided to throw out their new update, vault rework, mag rework, a ton of, I'm gonna hold my fingers up here, you won't see me do it, adjustments to very popular meta Warframes. And I think the most critical part of this update is in fact a cap to Affinity range, which is a bit strange. Now, I've been playing Warframe for quite a while. I play on and off. I am a fairly casual player of Warframe. I don't think that will change, but I do play enough of it, and my sister Lillianette is actually partnered with Warframe, so she does videos quite regularly, regular content. I decided not to do the partnering thing. I felt that I wanted to keep my channel doing things other than just Warframe. I wanted a bit of free reign on what I do. And I also don't want the Warframe partnership to influence things I say. So, it's really just me a matter of, I don't want to feel like when I'm saying my opinions, I'm being given stuff under the table to say nice things. I feel like stuff like that would like unintentionally change my opinion, and I really don't want to be in that kind of position. So yeah, as it stands right now, I'm not really interested in doing the whole Warframe partnership thing, and yeah. But let's get right down to it. So from what I can imagine with the dev stream and with the update, they wanted this update to, I guess, compete with the week of Overwatch. They did it with Fallout 4. They had a radiation alert the weekend Fallout 4 came out, and they also did like double Affinity. They might have even done double resources that week, and they gave like the regular things like a reactor, potato, whatever, what have you. And that was pretty fun. I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun with it. I loved the updates that week. It was a really good time. However, And I say a big however. This update, I don't know how, but most of it was not for the better, in my opinion. I think Vault got much needed love. I think it became pretty much a meme for every update. Someone would say, fix Vault please, rework Vault please. Even though really, to be honest, Limbo kind of needs a bit more love than Vault. I thought Vault was okay, but Vault's had his rework now, and he's doing pretty well. He has a really nice shield. He can actually pick up the shield now and he can move it around, though the shield's smaller, and he actually can't use certain weapons while he's holding this riot shield. I think it's fantastic. It does remind me of Reinhardt's shield actually, now that Reinhardt is on screen just pushing his shield right there. So yeah, Vault had a good time with the update. Some players have been really upset over Trinity. There's a very funny meme about Trinity saying, "Oh, it's time to nerf Trinity." Well, that time's come. It is Trinity nerf o'clock, guys. I think one of my biggest things with Trinity, like, I feel like the nerf is kind of overzealous. Like, I think it's too harsh. I honestly think it's too harsh. I did have a problem with Trinity for a while because I feel like when people are talking about Oberon or they're talking about any healing frame, they're always comparing it to Trinity, and Trinity is like 99 invulnerability, and she uses like self-damaging weapons to achieve her sort of things. But now it's left Trinity in a really weird position. Trinity kind of has to stay away from players now to be effective, and I think that's a bit detrimental because I mean, I haven't actually played it myself yet, and I'll let you know when I do, but if this is true, it's to do with damage received from players, and if I'm probably totally fucking wrong, but if that's true, that probably means Trinity has to stay away just to get the maximum potential. I think that's very that's anti-co-op to me. Also, she no longer heals defense pods anymore. I think that's a huge hit to her viability in defense. Aside being an EV turret, that's pretty much all she's gonna be doing. Her heal's okay, but it's certainly not in the state where it can really scale anymore. And that's kind of upsetting. Mag's Polarize, of course, was heavily nerfed. There was descriptions saying it can now deal damage to both Grineer and Corpus, but this is very flat. The armor strip is very flat, and it does not scale at all. So Mag's gone from a frame that could scale to a frame that can no longer scale, which seems kind of, I don't know, to me? Anti-productive? I don't know, but yeah, apparently her magnetize is pretty damn good though, so always wanted to use Bullet Attractor a lot more, so something like that, maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll use it more, but honestly don't know. Excalibur can't use Exalted Blade at range. Apparently his slide blind in Exalted Blade form costs energy now, which is kind of annoying for me because I can never. I'm probably a bad player at Excalibur, but I've had many times where I've accidentally triggered that blind when I didn't want to, and it's kind of like I'd probably just lose all my energy doing that. Valkyria got hammered pretty bad with increased energy consumption in a Berserker mode, and Ashe got kind of nuked quite badly. Ashe is going to get nuked quite badly in the future as well with his Bladestorm. Like, I complain about Bladestorm a lot, but I can see why it's used. I wish it was built slightly differently, maybe a bit more active, but or maybe just not have the enemies invulnerable while in Bladestorm mode, because that is very annoying when you're trying to shoot a target and it's like suddenly glows red and it's like, nope, Ash has got it. But yeah. Anyway, ramblings aside, I think, aside all the Warframe nerfs, let's forget those for a minute. Like, on their own, I kind of care, but I don't care enough to say that, oh, I didn't see this coming, or it was kind of coming on them, honestly. But I think that one of the biggest problems is they removed a lot of the scaling stuff that made tackling higher level content a lot easier now. Things like sorties are going to be a lot more challenging. Not being able to do certain things. Certain enemies like bursters are very, very tough to tackle in those high level modes without that sort of CC. And for some reason Ember got a buff. I don't know how, but I guess more people will be using Ember, I guess. Full teams of Embers and Exterminate. Hooray. But I think the biggest thing, this is the thing to me that kind of made me want to just play Overwatch this weekend. This is why I've been playing Overwatch this weekend. Is that there's an affinity cap on the range, and now it seems kind of nice because it stops people from being hallway heroes. They don't get XP. But, and this is a big but, if someone's doing something like an interception mission, they're not gonna get XP for holding their point from other players. That's the big one, because it completely makes interception unfun to do, with the exception to stuff like Draco. And that's absolutely absurd to me. That makes people want to do Draco more, not less. Things like Cerberus, nobody will touch. Things like T4 interception, nobody will touch with groups. And it's like, why? Why would you do an affinity cap on range? Like, that was one of the nice things, because the tile sets are so huge. You're just not gonna be able to get XP anymore when you go off to find that clump of enemy spawns. You won't be able to kill them right away, and it's just like, seriously? But yeah, that's honestly my biggest pet peeve. I think one thing that really bothered me was on the forums. There was quite a long damage control post by D. Rebecca. I think it was mostly motivated by higher-ups to try and cool the situation down. But there was one thing she said. She said things about flame repellent, things about, oh, we're looking into it, we're gonna fix enemies, all that stuff. And then there was one thing she said that really threw me off. And she said the Warframe has been in open beta for 3 years. 3 years. I don't remember when, but the open beta tag was removed at some point. A year or two ago. I don't know what update it was. It must have been either update 14 or just after that. Maybe when they added the Limbo Theorem, but 3 years? And you're charging money for a game? But I don't know why that just bothers me so much. I really, at this point, I don't think they should call it an open beta. But it's just at this point, when I think about balancing of Warframes, and then I look at Overwatch, you see how ridiculous some of these characters are. You've got D.Va that can literally blow up everyone in one shot. Got Reinhardt with a really tough as hell shield. He's a really good defender. And aside from McCree, all the characters are pretty well balanced. And there's hard counters for them. And they all do their role. And I feel like D's trying to make Warframes too samey and too muted. and they're trying to remove the roles that they've created for the game. So like, you won't have good healers. Like, Mercy can flat out revive. I'm not asking for that in Warframe, but it's just, I know you can't compare Overwatch to Warframe, but when you look at like roles and they're in this game to roles in Warframe and how they like nerf those roles from doing their job, just seems kind of pointless to me. Anyway, I want to know what you think, and I've kind of rambled for over 15 minutes here, so I could have been speaking a lot of horse shit, but that's my opinion. I still think Warframe's a fantastic game, don't get me wrong. I still think Warframe's great. I'll still be playing it. But I just felt this weekend I needed a little cool off. I think the community as a whole needs a little cool off. And I'm gonna probably hop back on Monday when the event's over. Tomorrow's a bank holiday. I'll hop in and I'll check it out, and I'll probably run a few missions, maybe get some Nintendo. So anyway, I hope you guys have a good day, have fun!